So we're just in Godalming, it's obviously Jeremy Hunt's seat. We're trying to find out the vibe. Are people going to vote for Jeremy? Big J-Dog?
He's a bit of a dick, really, isn't he?
It's a shame Guy Fawkes failed.
I don't like change.
Hello, sir, can I accost you for one moment? You do look like a Lib Dem. No. He does, he's got the fleece. Yeah, it's all there. We're in Godalming. A beautiful Godalming, which is the main part of Jeremy Hunt's constituency at the forthcoming general election. It's basically halfway between Portsmouth and London. And it's very Jeremy Hunt. He's a man who looks like a provincial Waitrose store manager, and Godalming is very much channeling that vibe. Should be very Tory, and yet the polling suggests not. There was polling out last year which had the Lib Dems ahead, and that was without too much tactical voting. So even a semblance of tactical voting, and you'd suspect that the Chancellor of the Exchequer could be a goner. That's very unusual. Could it happen on July the 4th, 2024? Well, we're here today to find out, to ask the denizens of this wonderful little place what they think of Jeremy Hunt. If the people shopping at Waitrose Godalming aren't tempted by what's on offer from the Conservative Party, then maybe some of the worst polls are right. Maybe they are in line for a historic defeat. And I think this is probably one of the best places in the UK to find out. Waitrose in Godalming.
Well, I'm not really that keen on Jeremy Hunt. I'm not a Tory, but I'm not really sure who to vote for, really.
You're planning to vote for Jeremy Hunt?
Yes.
Very good. Why? He's come under a lot of fire nationally. Obviously, he's very high profile.
Because he's local. I think he's busy. He knows people. He knows what he stands for. That's enough for me.
And the national polling suggests that the Lib Dems might steal this seat. Would that upset you?
Better them than Labour.
We're in a position, I suppose, here where we've got the Lib Dems relatively close. So we'll just have to see.
So you've not made your mind up?
No. Still undecided.
So if they have a good campaign, Jeremy still might steal your vote?
Jeremy's a nice guy, and maybe if he was in a different party, I might vote for him.
What party would that be?
Who would ever know?
Hello, sir, can I accost you for one moment? You do look like a Lib Dem. No. He does, he's got the fleece. Yeah, it's all there.
It's a shame Guy Fawkes failed. He should have blown that place to smithereens, Parliament. They're no good to any burger.
The last honest man in Parliament, that's what they say.
I am going to vote for Jeremy Hunt, but I think his spelling on the leaflet it's just sent me, I was very disappointed.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So you're not tempted by the Lib Dems? They're on the rise
not,
here?
I'm afraid no, because I'm afraid I'm a through and through Tory.
So no matter what they could do, they can't lose your vote. I mean, you know.
Probably not. I don't like the idea of Sir Keir Starmer, getting in power. I don't think he would do a better job at this point.
And Jeremy Hunt, what do you make of him personally? Do you think he's better than the party on average, or do you think he's a good egg? Lots of people seem to be quite positive about him, but quite critical of the party nationally.
I'd go along with that.
Can I ask you, you're planning to vote for in the general election on July the 4th?
Certainly will not be the Conservatives, that's one fact.
So you're probably not planning to vote Tory then, by the sounds of it?
Always used to, but I'd probably vote Lib Dem, I would have thought. Certainly won't be Labour.
Why not Labour?
Country would be in the right mess it was before, and they don't change their policies, do they, to make it any better? My opinion only.
And would you be happy if Jeremy Hunt lost, or is it just something that's sort of in the background? Or
I just think he's arrogant. But
what makes you say that? As chancellor?
We'd be better off with the Conservatives and Labour.
You know, your MP here is Jeremy Hunt. He's the Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I don't think I'd be voting for him.
No?
No.
So you're not tempted by the Tories?
Definitely not.
So who might you be most voting for? Even if you're undecided, who are you thinking maybe, you know?
Lib Dem, probably. Probably Lib Dem.
So are you voting against something, or are you voting for something?
Probably against something. Yeah, I think enough is enough.
You know Jeremy Hunt's the MP here?
Is he?
He is. The Chancellor is the MP here. What do you think of him? You're wearing your sunglasses. You can't be identified. Don't worry. They won't come knocking.
I think it's not what I think of him. I would have said you should have asked my daughter, who's a doctor, what she thinks of him. And that wouldn't have been a good reply.
Yeah. Are you hopeful about the general election? You know, if there's a change of government or...
I'm a Conservatives voter, but I don't think Rishi stands a chance of winning now.
I've always voted Conservative, but I'm not going to bother anymore.
No. Do you have anybody else in mind, or still thinking about it?
No, I don't think I'm voting. They will take all the money we've got, keep my husband in care.
So that's the number one issue for you, really, is elderly care, or just care generally, really? NHS, social
Yep,
care.
the whole lot of them.
So if somebody came along and said, look, I really care about that stuff, I want to sort it out, you might listen to them, or you just gone beyond that now?
Well, it's not going to happen overnight, is it?
No.
And we've waited long enough. I am struggling, really struggling. Nobody's interested.
I think the country's in spiritual disarray. Politics isn't necessarily the answer. I think the nation needs to turn back to God and seek his face, because I don't think any political idiom's going to solve the problems we got now.
On July the 4th, who would you be voting for? Given what you've just said, if we need a spiritual renewal in Britain.
I couldn't vote. I'd have to vote for one party, but I think certain politicians need to pull together and have a united voice and stop arguing and look for really what's best, rather than following their particular dogma. Outside of that, if I'm going to be pushed, I prefer a mixed economy, not just one particular emphasis. So I would favour a Labour Party that's a little bit further to the right. That's all.
And the MP here is Jeremy Hunt. Are you a Godalming man?
Yeah.
Would you be happy to see him go? Do you think he's a good MP?
He's a good constituent MP. The problem is, you see, is you meet these people face to face, and they're nice people, and they bend over backwards to help their local constituents. And he has. I've had personal experience of that. And unfortunately, some constituent MPs represent problems, further up their chain.
I mean, Ange, I don't like Keir Starmer. I don't like change.
Starmer compared to Rishi Sunak, I think he's more. I believe he's more able to connect to the people than Rishi Sunak is. If I remember correct, I think he was like a lawyer for human rights. If I'm correct, yeah. And the other one, what is it? Like a hedge fund manager, something like that. So yeah, you can see. I think like one wants to make money for the companies, for like the big corporations, and the other one has people in mind more.
It won't be for Jeremy Hunt, and it won't be for the Tory party, and I'm a lifelong Tory. It'd be reform.
It'll be for reform?
Wherever they stand.
So you a Godalming man?
I live in Godalming, but that's... Jeremy Hunt ruined it years ago with the health service, destroyed it, and he came back as Chancellor, same package again. Labour Party just don't even go along the lines of looking at them. They're totally ridiculous. And the only people I can see to put my vote on is reform, unless I don't vote at all, and I don't think that's right.
Would you say never again? Is it over, or is it just this time you want to punish them?
It's over. They're finished. They had the golden cherry. They had everything gold to do whatever they wanted to do, 386. And that's marvellous. They could reformed everything. The House of Lords, they could have gone for the card and made it perfect. But they haven't. They're just greedy, infighting people. I've never known so. Morons, in some cases. Absolutely morons. And Sunak, I can't get my head around him. They had it. They was there to make it. They could see the problem with immigration in the country. They could put that in the right perspective. Immigration's superb for the country in every aspect, enriches the country. But they could put that on an even keel. They could have done education for the young people in this country. They're destroyed. You take areas like this, all right, it's quite wealthy and everything else, but there's areas I know where there's young boys going to school, coming out of school illiterate.
There's been 14 years. It hasn't really achieved anything that we thought they were going to achieve. But I think one of the biggest issues that we've got is that what is the alternative? I think it's very, very difficult. I rather suspect that reform might do quite well, bearing in mind what's going on to the lead up to the 4th of July.
Would you vote Lib Dem to get Jeremy Hunt out, or just...
No, I'd vote Jeremy Hunt. Definitely. I can't see the Lib Dems, I mean, even when they had the alliance with Clegg, it didn't really achieve anything. So no, I wouldn't.
Liberal Democrat.
Ooh. Is that a first-time thing, or is it a long-term vote? Or
It will be a tactical vote.
Tactical vote to get out the Tories. Are you a Godalming resident?
I live in Milford.
Right. So is Jeremy Hunt your MP?
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want him out? Yeah. Who did you vote for last time, if you don't mind asking?
Again, it was a tactical vote, so I'm pretty sure it was Lib Dem last time.
Right. Are you looking forward to that vote? Getting them out?
Yeah, I guess so.
And are these your friends, family?
Don't agree with any of that.
It's my father-in-law.
Hello. Who are you planning to vote for on July the 4th?
Conservative.
Are you a Godalming man? Or?
I am.
Yeah. Lots of people are either undecided or they're Lib Dems, or even if they're voting Conservative, they're very angry with the Conservatives.
I've been very unfortunate to have to live through a couple of Labour governments. Never do it again. And if I have to go through it again, I'll probably die early. But no, thank you very much. The country will be left bankrupt. It'll be run by the unions, not as if it's not already. So no, I don't want to go down that route. And I'm a boomer, so therefore I'm probably a misogynist and a racist and everything else.
What makes you say that, sir? You seem quite nice. You seem very pleasant.
I try and be nice, but...
You seem very pleasant. Do you understand, though, why your daughter-in-law, people like that, are trying to vote the Tories out? Do you understand it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, because it's their choice. And
do you understand the politics driving it? Even if you disagree, do you understand that, OK, actually, I can understand the interpretation of the country going backwards or whatever?
Probably because they've not... Dare I say it, it's no disrespect to anybody, but I just don't think they've been through a Labour administration before. Not really. And the last time Labour were in power, 15 years ago? Yeah, they probably wouldn't remember. And I don't blame them, because there are an awful lot of things you can say about this present administration, and I agree, they've done pretty badly. However, I think the alternative is far worse. No, this present administration have been pretty awful. But then when I look at it, why did they what happened to Boris? Boris was going to be good for the country, but they got him out on a birthday cake, for Christ's sake.
Do you think the Tories would be doing a lot better if they had Boris still as the...
Yeah, I do.
Big dog.
Yeah, 100%.
With Jeremy Hunt, he consistently says one thing locally and acts and votes another way. So particularly when we're talking about the water outages that have been here and the fact we have nameless crud in our rivers, he's had 3 separate opportunities to vote against it, not taken one, and yet keeps talking about how he cares about it. His shtick is that he is the grown-up in the room. He's the voice of reason. But if you actually look at the facts, he absolutely is not. He's just like the rest of them, possibly with cleaner fingernails and better table manners.
So we've just got wind of a very quintessentially English thing happening in this quintessentially English town. There is, of course, on today of all days, a village fair here in Godalming. And that's obviously lovely and pleasant. We might go and buy some jam and some marmalade. But intriguingly, I'm also told that the Liberal Democrat candidate will be there, Paul Follows. So let's go hunt him down. You've got your stall here. There's the Labour stall up the road. There's no Tory stall. Is that normal?
No, it's not. And actually, to be honest, I was just talking about this with some of my colleagues. I think I've been to the last 10 of these fairs and there's been a Conservative stand here. So I'm very surprised not to see one, I have to say.
And are you feeling confident about July the 4th? Are you going to be the MP for Godalming and Ash?
July 4th is a long way away. That's 32 days from now. I'm looking every single day, and a lot can happen between then and now. I think we've got to show everybody in this wonderful new constituency what we're about, what positive vision we think we can bring, what changes we can bring, and what we can do after 14 years of terrible, terrible Tory rule. What I think we've done, though, is establish in places like Godalming, where we've been running the council for over 5 years, and Waverley for about the same, that actually when we do get elected and when we do win, we do bring that positive change. And I'm hoping to show people that over the course of the next 3 weeks. He's always going to have a personal vote. I think if you've been around for a long time, regardless of whatever party you are, you're going to have a bit of a personal vote. But I think he's been so associated with the Conservatives. He is, after all, the second most powerful member of the government after the Prime Minister. You cannot associate the man from the party. Now, he's been trying very hard to do that for basically the last few years now, but certainly as the elections got closer, he's been really trying to sell that. But I think when people walk into the ballot box, or they're doing their postal vote and they see Jeremy Hunt, Conservative, they will know what to do with that. But irrelevant of Jeremy, what I need to do is show people why they should vote for me, not why they shouldn't vote for Jeremy.
So and why is that? Because people who've said to us that they're going to vote Lib Dem, it's to get rid of Jeremy Hunt. So what's the positive offer?
So I think there are going to be some people who want to get rid of the Conservatives and they'll vote for the best person to do that, and to be honest, that is me. But I also want to make sure that when they are voting for me, they know what I will do. And so, for example, when Jeremy's out there saying that he's against fracking and he's against drilling in the Surrey Hills and he's against water companies pumping sewage into the River Wey, and then goes and does nothing about it in the House of Commons or doesn't show up, when I say those same things, they will know, just as in my borough council hat I've tried to sue the government about that drilling, I've tried to do something about it. They will know that when I oppose these things and when I say what my values are, that I will go and act on them.
So what have we learnt from our little jaunt to Godalming and Surrey? We've found out it's very picturesque. We had some delicious jam. They have a lovely summer fair here. But more importantly, from the perspective of a general election, it's confirmed what a lot of the polls are saying. The Conservatives are in big trouble. What those polls don't really convey, and what I've kind of picked up here today though, is that even those holdouts, even the people still voting Conservative now, after everything, they don't really like them. They don't think they've got especially good policies, or if they do, they don't think they'll be implemented. They don't trust them. They think they've done a bad job. And it does make you wonder, given that in 2019 they built this extraordinary coalition which people thought meant they'd be in charge for at least 10 years, how do they put that coalition back together again? How do you rebuild a coalition and win a political majority when even the people, the last holdouts who trust you, don't trust you? So I suppose that's the takeaway. Yes, the polls are broadly correct, but don't presume things will get better for the Tories. Don't presume there is some rock bottom. Maybe there isn't. Maybe things can get even worse. Obviously, Godalming is not the only seat like this with an interesting local dynamic. If you have any suggestions about where Novara media, and in particular me, should go over the coming weeks, if you think there's something we can really learn from paying that place a visit, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'm sure there are many, many places not even on our radar, and that'd be very useful. So like I say, let us know in the comments, and maybe Novara Media will pitch up in a place near you. I'll leave you with this thought. Jeremy Hunt is the second most powerful person in government. He's the Chancellor of the Exchequer. He's the man in charge of the nation's finances. If today's anything to go by, anything at all, he's in big trouble. Even without tactical voting, he's in big trouble. With tactical voting, he's going to lose, I think, possibly quite badly. So Jeremy Hunt, after July the 4th, may have a lot of time on his hands.